Khan Yunis on Saturday as humanitarian supplies begin flowing again under the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. Witnesses say the trucks had earlier reached Gaza's Rafah crossing, carrying food, medical supplies, fuel and equipment to repair essential infrastructure. Across the border, Israeli armored vehicles were spotted near Gaza as smoke continued to rise from damaged buildings. In Gaza City, many residents continue to return back to their homes, expressing hope that this marks the end of pain and suffering. Let's listen into what one of them said.
بس بدنا حدا يحمل معانا، بدنا حدا.
من وين مطلعينا؟
من هنا امبارح كنا مروحين على الشيخ رضوان وضربونا أحزمة نارية. هنا ضربت كواد قطر، تخبينا في الدار. لما تخبينا في الدار اللي هم مشينا مترين ضربوا صاروخ زنانة بيني وبين الشاب هذا وبينه هو جت له الشظية في راسه. من امبارح الساعة 5 العصر للساعة 8 الصبح واحنا بنفحر بخرم حيطة لما نبين النور علينا. طلعنا زي الفيران لما نجينا قبل شوية عرفنا نطلعوا. والحمد لله رب العالمين ونسأل الله عز وجل أنها تكون هذه آخر الآلام وآخر.
Alright, let me in fact give our viewers more details now on this big story. Hamas-run police officers have been deployed across Gaza City, focusing their presence on intersections and marketplaces outside areas controlled by the occupation. According to a police official, the deployment aims to ensure public security. Let's listen in.
تقوم القوات الداخلية بالانتصار على مستوى قطاع غزة بالكامل، المناطق التي غير خاضعة لسيطرة الاحتلال، ولكن تكون الانتصار الأكبر في المفترقات وفي الأسواق حفاظا على أمن المواطن حتى يشعر الناس المكلومة بوجود القانون وأن لا رحبت كثيرا بهذا الانتشار وجاءت تسلم علينا وتخبرنا أن نقف معها وأن نقف ضد هؤلاء اللصوص المنتشرين ولو كانوا قليلا، لكن هذا يبعث روح الطمأنينة عند الناس.
Mohammed Usman, International Relations Specialist, is joining us live from Cairo. Mohammed, thank you for being with us on NewsX. What can you tell us about the aid finally, which is finally flowing through Gaza? Which are the places which need it the most, and has it reached there?
Thank you for having me, O'Day. Indeed, since the ceasefire came into effect and with the implementation or the beginning of the implementation of the first phase of President Trump's peace plan for Gaza, it seems now that aid is flowing into the Gaza Strip in a much more bigger quantities than during the war, at least, because as part of the first phase of the agreement, it stipulates that Israel has to allow about 600 trucks daily, at least, into the Gaza Strip carrying humanitarian aid from the border crossing between Gaza and Egypt, and also from the 5 crossings between Israel and Gaza, which means that also aid has to flow in with ease from Israel as well, because some of the aid arrives through Israeli ports from international donors. And of course, the majority of the aid comes in from Rafah and the Kerem Abu Salam border crossings, which are between Egypt and the Gaza Strip and Israel. So now it seems that there are efforts to sort of alleviate the humanitarian crisis in the Gaza Strip in order to end the hunger and decrease the amount of suffering. But of course, the suffering will carry on for months and years ahead because of the sheer amount of the destruction and the devastation that has been inflicted upon the Gaza Strip by Israel over the span of 2 years. I think that now there are serious efforts to push this agreement forward. The detainee exchange or the hostage exchange deal is supposed to take place within a few days or even hours. The Israeli hostages are expected to be released, the 20 living ones at least, in exchange for about 1,950 Palestinian prisoners who have been incarcerated by Israel, some of which have been incarcerated for decades by the Israeli occupation authorities. And of course, Israel is redeploying right now and has withdrawn to the so-called yellow line inside Gaza. They have decreased their area of occupation from about 80% of the Gaza Strip to 58%. And then after this stage is finished, we begin the second phase, which has much bigger sticking points, much bigger hurdles, and even landmines, because it will concern the idea of post-war governance in Gaza, and also the idea of the disarmament of Hamas and the full withdrawal of the Israeli army of occupation from Gaza.
Absolutely. In fact, we're getting more breaking updates, in fact, now coming in this hour. At least 60 people have been killed after drone strikes by the paramilitary rapid support forces. They hit a displacement shelter in the besieged city of Al-Fashir. Local activists fear the death toll could rise sharply after multiple strikes. Al-Fashir remains under siege as the RSF battles to seize the army's last stronghold in Darfur. The ongoing blockade has plunged the city into a humanitarian crisis with severe shortages of food, medicine and shelter, while relentless air and artillery strikes continue to pound civilian areas. Energy firm DTEC has said it has restored power to 240